Hi, Brandon Walker, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Coming to you from the SEC Country studios here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. We are Mississippi made on this Monday morning. Hashtag Mississippi made. That's what we are. And we're not lying when we say it. We're not using it as some bogus hashtag or whatever. Although now that I think about it, I am in Atlanta, so how can it be Mississippi made? Well, I am. I'm from Point City. That's where I'm from. Hail State from the Nissan plant, says Jason Brinson. Hello, Jason. Good to have you here. Obviously, Baylor, Mississippi State. The big news yesterday over the weekend, Quindary Weatherspoon hits a three. I have no idea how we won that basketball game. Does anybody know how we won that basketball game? Anybody? We were down 9 with 3.5 minutes left, I think. We had blown a 20-point lead. We had a patented 20-minute stretch where we had no idea what to do, how to play basketball, but we fought through it. Is my audio good over there? We good? Okay. So my headphones are dancing a little bit, but that's okay. It happens. Louisville, Mississippi. Hello, Billy Kelsey. Hello, DeLand, Florida. Who would have thought both our men's and women's basketball team would still be playing, says Dan Glenn. Bulverde, Texas via McCool, Mississippi. I don't know where either of those places are. Where is McCool, Mississippi? Sounds like a McCool place to be. I'm tired. Hail State from Miami. Howdy from Little Rock, says D. Curtis. Great day to be a Bulldog, says Sandra Thompson. Every day is a great day to be a Bulldog. We were supposed to win if that shot doesn't go in. If not, that shot doesn't go in. Yeah. Listen. Buzzer beaters are one thing. When they go in like that one went in, hitting the front of the rim and bouncing over, that just that added to it somehow. That added to it. And then the fact that Baylor has a transfer from Mississippi State who was sitting on the bench not playing and talking trash, and our players immediately ran over to him and talked trash back. Fantastic. What a great way to end that basketball game. I mean, it's the NIT. It's the NIT. It doesn't mean all that much in the grand scheme of things, but if you're going to play in a game, you should win it. You should win it, and we did. What's up from Shreveport? Hello, Adrian Page. Hello, Wayman Hodge from Aberdeen. I'm ready for spring football. Hail State from Florence, says Carrie Orr. Well, spring football is coming. I believe it starts tomorrow. Today's the 19th, right? Is that correct? 3/19? It starts on 3/20. That is tomorrow, March 20th, 2000, whatever year this is. Mississippi State playing spring football or practicing spring football. I'm as excited about spring football as I've ever been. The new coaching staff has reinvigorated me. I feel like I could go out there and play. Couldn't, but I feel like I could. With the quarterback, he's going to be learning the offense. I think he's getting back to as close to 100% as he can get. Nick Fitzgerald, with the young quarterback who is waiting in the wings. Whenever it's his time, he'll be a start. Mississippi State, Keaton Thompson, all the way down the line. I'm just excited about what we have taking the field this spring and who we're taking the field under. So we'll talk about on this show men's basketball beating Baylor, women's basketball, and the end of an era in the Humphrey Coliseum tonight, regardless if they win or lose, which I'm just assuming they're going to win. I'm hoping they're going to win. I'm rooting for them to win. But regardless of a win or a loss, Mississippi State women's basketball will end an era tonight in the Humphrey Coliseum as this senior class, maybe the greatest senior class in any sport in school history, plays its last game in the Humphrey Coliseum. And we have a bedtime story. No 2-minute drill. We'll end the show on a bedtime story today. And this bedtime story is hashtag Mississippi made. Birmingham in the house. Can't get into baseball until basketball is over. I think you can go ahead and put off baseball for this year, Lisa. I'm not sure baseball is going to be worth putting that much effort into this year. The young players just need to come along and be ready for a dynamite new coach. Hopefully that coach will be who we need and will be somebody that can win championships at Mississippi State. Hail State from my chair, says Grace Thacker Good. Kenny Manning's in Brookhaven. Olive Branch has John Grantham checking in. Landshark, how you doing? You good? Terp's not here today. Terp's not here. So we've got Patrick. Patrick, how are you? No, tell me how you are. Don't give me a thumbs up. Tell me how you are. You're doing just fine. Good. I don't know about this new guy, Landshark. I'm not sure about it. We're going to try it out. We're going to see. We're going to see. I think Patrick knows what he's doing. You know what you're doing? Give me another thumbs up. All right. It's okay. Don't apologize. We mess up around here all the time. This is a very bad show. Not a good show. Did you get any Mexican food the other day? Yes, I did, Lewis. Yes, I did. I got an obscene amount of Mexican food. I jumped to the front of that line. Did you see how much Mexican food I got the other day when we ended the show? It was weird. Where the hell is Terp? Where is Terp? Is he on vacation? Turks and Caicos? Are you being serious right now? He's in Terps and Caicos. Is that why I went there, so I can rename it Terp? Okay. Blackstone, Virginia. Hello, Danny Carl. St. Patrick says Shannon Listenby. I don't know. He might be a good guy. I've never seen him do anything wrong, so we'll see. All right. I'm about ready. Did I fire Terp? No, he's just on vacation. He didn't tell me he was going on vacation until Thursday because he knew I would get mad. He knew I wouldn't like it. He knew I wouldn't like that he was leaving, but he's not going to be here this week. Apparently, he's in Turks and Caicos. How? All right, I'm out here. I'm the talent. All right, I'm the star of the show. I'm Brandon Walker. This is more Cowbell with Brandon Walker. I can't afford to go to Athens for vacation. This guy, the producer, 22 years old, he's going to Turks and Caicos. I don't even know where that is. Sounds warm, though. All right. Are you ready? You are ready. Give me a thumbs up. So we're going to go ahead and then get right into this. Let's, you know what? Just give me just a second. I just remembered I don't have my MyBookie read. Can you find me a MyBookie read? There should be some on my desk. Thank you very much. Second time that's happened in the last 4 or 5 days. Like I said, Patrick, not a very good show. We're going to talk about men's basketball. We're going to talk about women's basketball. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything, and we'll have a bedtime story. Just to give you a preview of the bedtime story, have you seen these logos? Have you seen this logo this Ole Miss coach tweeted out, this Mississippi-made nonsense? How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? Do I have it? I have it. Patrick, are you ready? You are ready? Let's go.
The More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Bringing us in on a Monday here in the SEC Country studios in Atlanta, Georgia. We are official. We are now on the air for the podcast. Again, Brandon Walker, More Cowbell, having a good time. Mississippi State wins a big one. I don't know how big it was. It's the NIT, so it is what it is, but an exciting one. Quindary Weatherspoon hits a buzzer beater. Just a fantastic way to finish that game. It was a game that was as big of an emotional roller coaster as far as how well they were playing to how poorly they were playing to, oh my God, did we win? How did that happen? That I can remember in a long time. I have no idea how Mississippi State won that basketball game. I'm glad they did. Women's basketball tonight, regardless if Mississippi State wins or loses against Oklahoma State in the round of 32, tonight ends an era in the Humphrey Coliseum as Morgan Williams, Victoria Vivians, Blair Schaefer, Roe Johnson, and the rest of the seniors play their final game at the Humphrey Coliseum, no matter if they win or they lose. Is this the greatest senior class in school history? How could you say it is not? How could you say it is not? I don't know one off the top of my head I would put over them. Spring football starts tomorrow. I am very, very excited about it. And we're going to end the show not with a 2-minute drill. No, we're going to put you to sleep today. The long lost return of the bedtime story. And folks, this bedtime story is hashtag Mississippi made. And I'm not lying. That's just not just a slogan. Not just something clever I came up with or stole from somebody else. This bedtime story really is Mississippi made. Before we get there, it's time to talk to you about the boatload of money you can make this week and next week in March Madness by betting at MyBookie. If you haven't checked them out, this is a perfect time to get in on the action. The madness of March is here. Lay down some money and score big on college hoops. Come join MyBookie today. I would only recommend a service that's been good to me and our listeners. That's why I urge you to make your way to MyBookie. You win and they pay fast and without any hassles. You're wasting your time betting anywhere else. Join now and MyBookie will match your first deposit with up to a 50% bonus. You can and enter your promo code Cowbell. That's Cowbell for my show. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. Now, Mississippi State goes to Baylor, Waco, Texas, playing in front of Chip and Joanna Gaines. My wife loves that show. Do you like that show, Landshark? She loves that show. And I watch it, and, it ain't bad. It ain't a bad show. I've seen worse shows. That Joanna, whew, man, she's very good at what she does. Very good. All right, so I just came to a standstill there, but Mississippi State goes to Baylor. They beat Baylor 78-77 in the NIT. That game elicited more emotional reactions from me than I can remember, especially for an NIT game. Mississippi State up 14 at the half. Mississippi State up 20 at one point. Cruising. Cameras going off, shutters going. We're waving to the crowd. Parade is lined up, and boom, we immediately forget how to play basketball. Turnovers, can't rebound. I've never seen a team that rebounds as poorly at times as this Mississippi State team. But somehow, down 9 with 4 minutes left, Mississippi State, Tyson Carter hits a couple of big threes. Quindary Weatherspoon hits a couple of big threes. Somehow we find ourselves down 2 with 5 seconds left. Well, the game is tied, so let me go back. The game is tied. Baylor has the ball. Baylor's point guard drives, hits a teardrop off the glass. 5 seconds left. Mississippi State comes down. It can either tie it, it can win it, or it can lose. And this is what happened if you're watching. Quindary Weatherspoon pulls up from right off the top of the key, hits the front rim, and it rolls in. An incredible buzzer beater. You know what, Landshark? I'd like to see that again. Thank you. There, is it just looping itself? Can you just let that loop for the rest of the show? I love everything about this. Now, if you're on the podcast, just bear with me for a second as I talk to my people on Facebook Live who can watch this right now. My favorite part about this is the assistant coach who takes off running right there, Corey McRae, as the ball is in the air. He decides to take off running. If it had missed, I don't know where he would have ended up running to. But I love Corey McRae. I love people that just run as a reaction. Look at that. He's gone. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all. I'm double parked. Mississippi State wins. Quindary Weatherspoon with a dagger. The 4th buzzer beater of his career. That's remarkable. How many players have 4 buzzer beaters in their career? There was the great one against Vanderbilt as a freshman. There was one earlier this year against Dayton. There was another 3 earlier this year. And then this one, maybe the best yet, as Mississippi State comes down, needs 2 to tie, 3 to win. Quindary Weatherspoon hits a 3. Now, it's the NIT. It's not the NCAA tournament. But if you're in the NIT and if you're in these games, you might as well win them, right? But regardless of whether we won or lost yesterday, there are things that if they carry over to next season, we're going to be very, very good. There are things we are doing right now on this court that we need to carry over to next season. It starts, I think, with Lamar Peters and the effect Peters has had on this team. Peters has turned himself into a pass-first facilitating guard, and he makes everybody better now. That wasn't the case in November and December. He was kind of fighting against the current. Now he is the current. Lamar Peters has become somebody who the offense runs through, and he gets the ball to people, and they score. And that's great. Now, I do think he's slightly overcorrected. He's got 25 assists in the last 2 games, and that's great. If he'll just regress on that passing just a little bit and add that scoring back in, if he can become a 15-point, 8 assist a night guy, he might be an All-American. He might be an All-American. That's how good he is. But really the attitude, the ball movement, the sharing the ball, the picking your teammates up. Now you're looking at Mississippi State celebrating in the locker room. Just the way they're playing together, it looks like they're having fun. November, December, they didn't look like they liked each other. None of them looked like they liked the others. Yet now, the attitude, the ball movement, guys sharing the ball, they look like they really enjoy playing basketball. And I'm glad this team won so they get to play together again. You carry that over. You carry this ball movement. You carry this attitude of team first over to next year when all of a sudden the juniors have become seniors, the sophomores have become juniors, the freshmen have become sophomores, and then you add in 3 very talented newcomers. Look out. Look out. I've told you many times I think this is a top 25 team next year. I think it's a top 4 team in the SEC. We weren't that far off this year. Some things have to get better. Rebounding has to be better. Rebounding has to be better. We don't rebound nearly well enough against strong physical teams. Baylor tore us up about that. Tennessee destroyed us on the boards twice, and Tennessee's not a good rebounding team. State finished 11th in the league in rebounding. Tennessee finished 10th. But they treated us like school children. And we have to get rid of that 10-minute stretch where we have no idea how to play basketball. When we get leads, you can pretty much bank on the lead's going to go away at some point. Just can we finish? We have to get rid of that 10-minute stretch in every game where we just look like we have never taken the basketball court before. It's awful. And it happened yesterday, and it stretched out yesterday. I think we had 15 points in the first 15 minutes of the second half. We ended up scoring plenty, but that was because of a great closing stretch from Tyson Carter and Quindary Weatherspoon. Now we have Louisville. The NIT is a crapshoot, but I like where we're at. We're in it, so let's win it. That's my motto. We're in it, so let's win it. That's trademark Brandon Walker. Tyson Carter's been good, too. Have I mentioned Tyson? He had some shots yesterday that were huge. Peters, and let me go back to Peters real quick, talking about, where he is at as a ball player mentally. He has embraced being that pass-first point guard, and it's made us a better team. It's going to make us a better team. And look no further than that last – can I see the last play again? Look no further than the last play. Lamar Peters brings the ball up with 5 seconds left, dribbles to the middle of the court, and then gives it up. He could have taken that shot. He's a great three-point shooter. He could have taken that shot. And I think in November he does take that shot. But right there, he dribbles, creates space, boom, finds a wide-open Quindary Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon hits the shot. We win the game. If we get that version of those two guys next year, look out. Mississippi State women back in the hump tonight for the last time for this senior class. Victoria Vivians, Blair Schaefer, Roe Johnson, Morgan William, they'll play in the hump for the last time against Oklahoma State. Hopefully we will be able to beat Oklahoma State and move on to the Sweet 16 and have more basketball for this group down the road. But win or lose, this is it in the Humphrey Coliseum. And I think it's one hell of a momentous occasion because this is the group that built women's basketball inside the Humphrey Coliseum. 5 years ago, if you wanted a ticket to Mississippi State women's basketball, you walked up to the ticket office about 30 minutes before the game and said, hey, give me a ticket. And they say, all right, here you go. How many do you want? 7, 8? Just take them all. Now, if you want a ticket, you better get online about 3 or 4 weeks in advance or at least have season tickets or have family that's connected to Mississippi State because otherwise you ain't getting it. You're not getting it. It's just a completely new world, and these 4 players, I know there are others, but these 4 are the, I guess the bedrock. These seniors built this into the juggernaut that it is, and I know tonight with bad weather in the state, tonight at 8 o'clock, a late tip, stinks for a time, but hopefully we'll have it full, and we'll give these players the send-off they deserve as they go forward to hopefully go to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the Final Four, and ultimately a national championship. Oklahoma State played us close earlier this year. I think there's a difference in playing us earlier than playing us in March, and hopefully anything that led to that 3-point win earlier will be back in our favor now. Mississippi State starts spring football tomorrow. I had to get a sip of water. Sorry. Very professional. I've never been as excited about spring football as I am right now. Maybe it's the new coaching staff that has me invigorated. I am fired up about Mississippi State spring football. Generally, I hate spring football. I think it's the most pointless exercise ever. Spring is for baseball and basketball and fishing and crappie fishing and cutting the grass and letting it go too far the first time and you have to cut it twice. And then arguing with your neighbor because you hadn't cut the grass yet. That's what spring is for, okay? Spring is not usually for football, but now with Joe Moorhead in there, with the new coaching staff, with all the excitement around the program, with the new offense that is going to be innovative and creative and, frankly, different than we've had the last couple of years, I'm excited. I'm excited to see our quarterbacks get out there. How healthy is Nick Fitzgerald? How much can he do this spring? I don't know. I told you earlier, I talked to a family member of Nick Fitzgerald, and they said that the coaching staff told Nick, listen, we don't need your legs this spring, but we're going to wear your arm out. We're going to teach you this offense. We're going to teach you what we're doing, and that's exciting. And Nick Fitzgerald will be the starting quarterback in 2018, but Keaton Thompson's the future, and he'll get plenty of reps this spring. He'll get the number 1 reps, I'm assuming, this spring. All the way down the line to the loaded running back position, the great offensive line, the wide receivers who are now on campus, Devontae Jason, Stephen Guidry, all of these guys who are now on campus at wide receiver. Now you have weapons all of a sudden for your quarterback. I think the best defensive line in the SEC is coming back to Mississippi State. There's just so much going on. Chauncey Rivers, who didn't play last year, Brian Cole, who didn't play. I am just beside myself with excitement on Mississippi State spring football. We'll break it down tomorrow. We'll break it down fully tomorrow, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hit somebody. Not a football player. No, like a smaller person. Like a curling player or something. Or a ping pong guy. Is that what they call them, ping pong guys? All right. Let me get my mind right here. Patrick, play that music. Play that soft music. Play it a little softer. Doesn't that feel good? Now on this show, sometimes I like to give you a bedtime story. Read you a fairy tale, a story of fantasy and something completely unhooked from reality, and I've got that for you today. And like most bedtime stories, this one starts off in Oxford. It starts off in Oxford. So, up in Oxford, they have created this movement called #MississippiMade. It's apparently bragging on all the Mississippi players they're going to get and how they're building the foundation of their program from the roots of Mississippi. Their groundswell of Mississippi is going to build their program. And there's their logo. It looks like it was made by a drunk 3-year-old on Microsoft Paint. There it is. Look at that. They've spelled Mississippi right and everything. And they got the star. I'm not sure that's where Oxford is, but look at that logo. Mississippi Made. How could that not fire you up to go to Oxford? I mean, they got a square, for God's sake. How could that not fire you up to take the offer and go to Oxford? One problem. Well, several problems, actually. Throw the logo back up. I didn't ask for you to take the logo down. Throw the logo back up. There it is. Nothing gets me fired up like powder blue either. Nothing gets me fired up like powder blue. I just want to go out and take a nap and buy a nice pastel quilt or something. Anyway, look at that thing. That's awful. That's awful. Now, give me the other logo. If you're listening on the podcast, that's a logo that Brendan Chapman, an Ole Miss coach, tweeted out saying Mississippi Made. It's got half the red M, and it ends in the state of Mississippi on the right with Mississippi Made over it. It's a clever little thing. Very clever. Whoever thought of it was right on point. Oh, guess what? We thought of it. We thought of it. Mississippi State. Now, look at that logo. Look how good that looks. All right? That's done by a professional. I think that logo right there, the Mississippi State with the same premise, the M ending in the Mississippi on the right side with the state over the top of it. First of all, it's much, much, much better done, and I think this was done by a random fan that posted it to Six Pack. I don't know his name. I'm sorry. If I did, you can email me or text me or whatever. I'll give you your props. This is a great logo. But Ole Miss liked it so much they stole it, just like they stole Win the Day, just like they stole cheating from SMU to get good, just like they stole everything. Look at that logo. That's like the Dollar General version of the Mississippi State logo. That's embarrassing. This Mississippi Made thing is a joke. I looked. You know who has the fewest in the SEC? 14 teams. You know who has the fewest homegrown players in the SEC? Ole Miss. 21 players from Mississippi. Out of 85 scholarship players, 21 from Mississippi. They made a decision a few years ago that they were a national brand, which was a lie. Not surprising. It was a lie. It wasn't true. Ended up getting them in trouble. And they have been bludgeoned to death in Mississippi recruiting by Mississippi State and others. They've just been destroyed. Louisiana Lafayette is more Mississippi Made than Ole Miss is. But now, the 2019 class is loaded, got a lot of players, and all of a sudden, we're Mississippi Made. Look at us. Look how much we love our state. Look at our cute logos we stole from other people. Yay! What a bunch of BS. The only thing Mississippi made about Ole Miss is the probation they got because they decided Mississippi players weren't good enough, so they had to go out and get national guys, and what they had to do to get those national guys got them put on probation. That's Mississippi made. That's what Mississippi made is to those guys. How transparent is this? They tried to be a national brand. It didn't work. The only national recognition they get is for being one of the dirtiest programs in the country with a laughing stock of a coach that called escorts. But they go out and get themselves on probation because of what they had to do to get those national guys. So now when the 2019 class is loaded, they fall back and they come up with Mississippi made. What a joke. What a joke. It's an insult to the intelligence of recruits and fans. And now they got this coach out there tweeting out Dollar General logos. If you're going to do that logo, get it made right. Get it made right. That's awful. All right, that's all I got. You can turn my music off now. Not going to do a 2-minute drill today. We're going to end with a bedtime story. I'm sweating out here. My name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. All right. Let's go. So, yeah. I probably shouldn't have worn this powder blue shirt on this day. Probably could have planned the old outfit a little bit better. Probably could have done that. Hail State says Olivia Worsham Merrill. Ethan Fleury says epic rant. Chris Van Zant says no 2-minute drill. What the hell? Sorry, I just skipped it today because I was fired up about the Mississippi made thing. Jacob Faulkner says they're just the worst. Stephen Mills laughs out loud. Thank you, Stephen. So yeah, no 2-minute drill today. I skipped it. It's hard to come up with 5 2-minute drill questions. You know, you guys could help me out. Send me some 2-minute drill questions because it's hard coming up with 5 questions every single day. Ring the bell just because? Okay. You ain't got to tell me twice. I call you out on that shirt every time. Sorry. Where did you find the state logo? Need some ammo. So that state logo was on 6-pack, and I've seen it on Elite Dogs too. It's out there. I don't know who did it. If somebody will come forward and say, I did it, I'll give you credit. The men's program, is it about the same place the women were 4 years ago? I don't know. Maybe. Nice rant. Thank you very much. TV screen should be gray. It is, Buster. It is. The lighting or the cameras make it look different, but in here, it looks like it looks on your screen. It looks like that. That's what it looks like. So we're working on that. Did you read the article that LSU should stop recruiting Mississippi? Jordan Goose Worrell. That is also going to be a bedtime story soon. That'll be our first non-Ole Miss bedtime story ever. I might do that tomorrow because I'm fired up about that. I'm absolutely fired up about that. One guy decommits from LSU, and all of a sudden you're going to write that Mississippi players aren't smart enough and they can't qualify and they're too much drama? Really? I'd say having the sense to not go play for Ed Orgeron tells me he's plenty smart. Any player that would decommit from an Ed Orgeron coach team is plenty smart. I feel bad for the Mississippi kids that got tricked themselves into going down to Baton Rouge to play. There are players that are going to spend 4 years playing for Ed Orgeron. Well, they'll play for Ed Orgeron for about 6 months, and then they'll get their new coach. I feel bad for guys that are going to have to go down to Baton Rouge for the next 4 years. How many Mississippi State players on state? Mississippi players on state. I think it was last year. It was 53. I think it's a lot. It's a lot. We are second in the SEC in most homegrown players behind Georgia. I think. I'm almost certain. And then I did this thing about 6 months ago for something else, but I just remember it. Georgia had number 1, but Georgia's got a state of 20 million people. Mississippi's got a state of 1.9 million people. Poor and uneducated. Yeah, I saw it, Hike. I'm going to get to that tomorrow. That'll be the bedtime story tomorrow. It might not even be a bedtime story. It might just be me ranting and raving. But I saw the logo that this Ole Miss coach tweeted out, and I just couldn't let it go. I could not let it go. It was just, I mean, if you're gonna do the logo, if you're gonna do Mississippi Made, first of all, they stole Win the Day. They steal everything. They haven't had an original thought up there in years. I mean, the name Oxford came from England, right? They can't even name their damn city originally. But what I got mad. Some blind rage. I have no idea where I was going with that. If you're gonna do the logo, do it right. That wasn't even a good logo. Why can't Singleton keep his mouth shut and just play ball, Bob Giles? You know, some guys just need to be fired up. Some guys are emotional, and it is what it is. I don't like it when he gets a technical foul, but he played well yesterday outside of that. So I don't want to say you overlook it, but, you know, some guys are different from others. That's all. I know I might be late, but are you cool with keeping Don't Stop Believing, says Cody Abbott. I go back and forth. I love it. I love Don't Stop Believing, and I think it's a great tradition. But originally it was a song that Dan Mullen picked. So do we want a song that our current coach likes? Do we want to get away from the Mullen stuff? Don't Stop Believing works. Definitely works for how we use it. So I think if it came down to it, if we had a vote, if we had a Hail State vote for the whole fan base, and I would probably be the president, but if we had a vote, I would say keep it. That would be my vote. But I can understand getting rid of it because it's tied to Mullen. Now I just want to run for president of the Mississippi State fan base. Who would I run against? I don't think Steve Robertson can legally run for office because all my Ole Miss friends tell me that he's been in jail before. Let's see. Bob works for the school. He couldn't be the president. So would it be me against Brian Haydad? I could drum up a scandal. I could drum up a scandal that he's been involved in. Pizzagate. Keep it. The hell with Mullen, says Jason Brinson. Keep it, says Paula Smallwood Dobbs. Yeah, I'm probably team keep it, but I could be swayed one way or the other. I don't have very strong convictions one way or the other. What's for lunch? I don't know. My car coasted into town on fumes. It was smoking when I got here. It was overheating, so I don't know if my car will go anywhere. We'll see. Use it when we play Florida. Gina Stedman Clarity. Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I'll play it every quarter against Florida. Will they keep playing Who Let the Dogs Out? Karen Morgan DeWeese? Well, let's see. It's been 20 years, so I'm guessing, yeah, they're probably going to keep it. We need to can that song. It basically means we believe we're the underdog. Those days are over. Joel Edwards. I don't think that's what it means. It's just a catchy song. I don't think assigning belief or ascribing belief to that song, like Don't Stop Believing because we can possibly win this game. I just think it's a catchy song they play in between the third and fourth quarter. It is our state. Cousin Eddie moved out, says Carl Omer. I want you to know one day I got to buy you a beer. No, you got to buy me more than one. Look who just joined. Look who just joined the Facebook. He's on vacation and he just joined. Hello, Terp. Will we redshirt Maiden? I would think so. With two, with a senior and then with his backup, I'm not sure there's any need to play Jalen Maiden. So I would think so. Fixing to drive through West Point. Anybody you owe money? Anybody owe you money? I need to stop by and collect from. Chad Mask. No, there's nobody that owes me money. Now there might be some people you need to avoid saying my name in front of because I owe them money. It's our song, just like Sweet Caroline is the Red Sox. Who Let the Dogs Out was Jackie Wayne's. We kept it. I don't know. Is it really our song? I mean, it's not like we've been playing it since 1982. We've been playing it since what, 14? 2014, I believe, is when we started that. I'm on team keep it, though. I'm on team keep it. Mark Templeton is still waiting on his helmet. Mark, I don't even have that helmet anymore. I don't even have that helmet. That helmet's gone. I don't even know what you're talking about. Have you guys seen a helmet? I ain't seen a helmet. Jamal Peters is my guy. He's going to get big. 2K18. Joe said he is adding a new song, Renegade, I believe. What is Renegade? What's Renegade? Who's Renegade by? I don't know that one. Nothing. I got nothing. Isn't Renegade and didn't Lorenzo Lamas star in a show called Renegade? I can't hear you. Foreigner? Did you say Foreigner? You think it's Foreigner? All right. See, why don't we let foreigners come in and do our music? It's ridiculous. No, nothing. Hashtag American made? No. Okay. Mark Templeton shakes his damn head. I don't know why. I haven't seen a helmet, Mark. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, there's a bunch of helmets back there. There's an LSU and an Auburn helmet and an Alabama helmet. Oh, when did they get the 17 for Alabama for their 17 fake national titles? Mike got it for us? Oh, what a great guy. Where will Murphy play? He'll play cornerback, I believe. I think he'll start at cornerback. Maybe he'll be a safety by the time he leaves. But I think Marcus Murphy will spend his career at Mississippi State on defense. I know in the recruiting process they talked about possibly giving him some packages on offense, but I think on a personal level, Marcus Murphy prefers to play defense. He thinks that is the path to the NFL, and I can't say I blame him. Sticks, you guys want to play Sticks? What does Sticks play? You know, I'm not a big rock music guy, so I don't even know what Sticks plays. What is Sticks? Is Sticks that Asian restaurant? When you go that not Benihana but Sticks, or is that Chopsticks? Nobody, you guys aren't saying anything to me. Okay. How about Chuck Berry's My Ding-a-Ling? Danny E. Pinter. That's who said that. Sticks plays Renegade. Oh, thank you very much. Carry On My Wayward Son. That doesn't get me fired up. Does that get you fired up? No. That's the saddest song ever made? It's not the saddest song ever made. It's not the saddest song ever made. Old Shep by Elvis Presley. That's sad. Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks. That's sad. What Carry On My Wayward Son? The Ole Miss fight song. Sad. Sad. My brother has a Dan Mullen signed football. How should we destroy it? Well, you should probably sell it to a Florida fan. Unless it has a state logo on it, I would sell it to a Florida fan. I would go to Craigslist Gainesville and put Dan Mullen signed football $500 and see what happens. That's what I'd do. Enter Sandman. Oh, that belongs to Virginia Tech. AC/DC, Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. Danger Zone, says Torrey Barnes. I like Danger Zone a lot. I like Danger Zone. It's a second vote for Carry On My Wayward Son. Are we sending these players off to war? What? The Baby by Blake Shelton. Okay, Ethan Fleury, that's enough out of you. I'm hungry today. You want to end early today, Landshark? You do? Patrick, you did good today. You did real good. I'm just kidding. Is State's baseball team as bad as they look this weekend, or was that just a hiccup? Dale Stafford asked that question. I think once you're 20 games into a season and you're 10-10 and you've lost to Southeast Louisiana and you've lost to all the teams you've lost to and you lose 3 to Vanderbilt and you score 4 runs on the weekend and have 8 errors, that's the longest hiccup in the history of mankind. That's not a hiccup. That's being a bad baseball team. And I know it's early. It's one SEC series in, but you're 0-3 and you dropped 3 home games and you didn't look very good in doing it. It's going to be a long season, but once Andy Cannizaro left and you lost to Southern Miss and once the cheese started sliding off the cracker a little bit, it became apparent to me that this 2018 season is not about 2018 at all. It's about players that'll be here for 19 and 20, and it's about John Cohen finding the best coach possible for Mississippi State baseball. That's what 2018 is about. It will not be remembered for anything that happens on the field. It'll be remembered for what John Cohen does off of it in finding the next guy for this team. Brandon, how's your brackets doing? Not that bad. Not that bad. I'm getting to you. I see you out of the corner of my eye. Not that bad. I'm sixth in our office pool with money in it. And there's about 40 people in it. I'm sixth, and I'm in good shape. I will admit that there's one person on the show who is currently in first place. Miss Hannah Chalker, Land Shark. You're in first place, right? But your champion is out, correct? You had Virginia winning it, or you had Virginia winning it? Of course you did. You went to Ole Miss. Yeah, Virginia is like Ole Miss in Virginia. You're not going to win it, Do you think you're going to win it? You're in first place now. You're winning now, but winning now isn't winning. Was your bracket Mississippi made? I picked Kentucky to win the whole thing, and it could actually happen now, says Sarah Banks. It bothers me that Kentucky is getting the easiest road in the history of NCAA basketball. After John Calipari cried like a child last week when they got sent to play Arizona and Virginia and Boise, and he cried like a little child, and then they get rewarded with the easiest road in the history of NCAA basketball. Boy, if they don't make it. The Kentucky fans are living high on the hog right now. They're excited. They got a yellow brick road right to the Final Four, but if they don't make it, John Calipari's going to be in some mess. They are going to turn on him in a second. 3 doors down, Superman, says Mike Fritz. We lost and was swept in the opening series to Arkansas last year and still made the Supers, but this team just isn't jiving at the moment, says Tim Doss. Yeah, but last year ain't this year. I know every time we have lost a game this year, everybody says, well, last year you had Andy Cannizaro guiding the ship. You had other players. You had at least some semblance of something going on, but I don't see anything going on with this baseball team. A 3-game series where you have 4 runs in 3 games and 8 errors, that's a sign of a bad baseball team. And it sucks, but it's just the truth. All right, I'm ready to go eat. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys coming today. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be better tomorrow as we dive into the second bedtime story, this time with LSU. Taking some shots at Mississippi players. We'll get into that. Until next time, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.